Hello, Jessica Jurwicks, back with another review, and today we are reviewing 71001 LEGO Minifigures Series 10, and this just came out in the US at least. I know it was available in some parts of Europe since I think the end of last month, or the beginning of this month, and there are 16 to collect, or 17 if you include Mr. Gold, in which he's a really hard one to find, and he's super rare. I do not have him, but I do have all 16 of the other figures. And these do retail for $3 in the US, and I found mine at Toys R Us in Boca Raton, Florida. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, these are $3 each, and they're $3.19 in Toys R Us. And here is the packaging for this. It's really cool, and I really like the gold. It really shines. But there's also a little bit of like just regular kind of yellow on the back, and then here's a little instruction booklet, I guess you could say, with a list of all the figures. There are 16 to collect, like I said. And here is Mr. Gold, the little advertisement they have for there. And so I'm going to look at each figure individually, and then I'm going to rate the series overall. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do this. I'm not going to individually rate it like I did last time with Series 5, but I will say if each minifigure is great, okay, or bad, and they have to fall into any of those. And so yeah, let's start with the Highlander Girl, as I call her. And I think she's probably one of the weakest from the series, even though she's just really a really good figure. And I really do like her leg printing right there, because it has some awesome side printing and some nice multiple printing. She has a lot of stuff going on her legs, if you can see that. She has some gold on top right there, some yellow on the middle, some brown right there, and then some brown for like caramel for her shoes. And then she has some really nice torso printing right there, and a pretty cool shield, which is kind of like the Captain America Rohan soldier shield. And she does come with a spear, which I really like because it's kind of like has a gold tip, which is really useful, and a brown handle. So that's cool all in itself. But her face is kind of just, you know, I mean, I'm never a fan of cheekbones on females, and even on most males for minifigures. But I really do like her hairpiece, because that hairpiece actually originated in Series 2 with the pop singer, but it's never came in this color before, which this color is black. So that's very usable for like Lego City and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to be using her hairpiece soon. But I think I'll just rate her okay, because the figure overall doesn't really appeal to me besides the hairpiece, because I'm usually a modern day city guy. So there was the first figure. And here's the second figure, the sad clown. I'm pretty sure it's called like a Paytone or something. It's Perion. I'm not really good. I know it's a French name, which starts with a P. And his top hat is really cool, and he does have a ruffle right here. And it's kind of just a black and white minifigure, which is really just really stylish, I gotta say. But again, it really doesn't appeal to me. I really do like this little ruffle part. I forget what they're called. But I'm usually a modern city guy, so I like using these in city. So this guy is probably just an okay for me. I really do like his top hat, and because you could probably paint that to make a birthday hat. But he really, like I said, doesn't appeal to me. I prefer the mime over him from Series 2, and he's very similar to that. And here is Medusa, and Medusa is just a really cool figure because of her her tail, or not really tail, but her kind of her leg part. And it's a new piece, and it's really rubbery. And this part's actually solid plastic, and then right here there's a little line right there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's when it becomes rubber. And I'm not sure if that's really usable, but it is really just a cool piece overall. And her torso is kind of a little bit detailed, and her face is really scary, and it's usable for like, I guess, not really a zombie, but for like a monster setting. And her hairpiece is cool too, because it's kind of like all her snakes and everything. And you might be able to use this for like, it looks a little bit like a crane from that angle, from TMNT, but you could use it probably for grass or something like that, or seaweed. A lot of people do use hair pieces for different uses in like swamps and stuff like that. But like I said, it doesn't really appeal to me, so I will give this just an okay. But I know a lot of people, this is like their favorite minifigure from the series, so all the power to them. And here is the outfielder. I'm pretty sure I'm really bad at sports, and I really like this figure because not only does he have the baseball glove, which is just usable because we've never had really a baseball theme or anything like that, but he does come with this cap, and I love using these caps for like a city setting because they're very good for casual wear or whatnot. So I love that part, and I wish it wouldn't have I wish it would have been like a different color, but his face is kind of okay. I really don't like the cheekbones, and it's very generic because there's so many cheekbone figures for like all the generic figures in the minifigure series. But I really love his legs, and you can see there's that belt right there. And I'm kind of conflicted with this figure. I want to give it a great, but the only great parts are his belt, his glove, and his hat. So yeah, I guess I'll give it a great because the only okay parts are his torso and his face. So yeah, I'll give it a great. So I highly recommend this figure, and he's just a really cool figure overall and very useful. And here is the Revolutionary Soldier, and he's a pretty cool figure. I like his gun right there, and you can kind of see the gun is one of the pirate guns, and I wish the gun would have been a different color because I don't think we've gotten a pirate gun in a different color rather than brown in a while. And he doesn't have any legs, but he does have this nice torso, which is very useful for Blue Coat fans out there, which there's a lot of those in the AFOL community. And he does come with this new wig piece, and there's that little bow right there, which is really great detail. And it's hard plastic. I was expecting for it to be rubber, so it kind of succeeded my expectations. There is that. It's not really usable in today, so you know I'm probably going to give this just an okay. And I really do like his face piece because it's very serious, and even though it has cheekbones, it's nice to get a serious face. And I overall give this figure just an okay for his face and his hair, but I know a lot of pirate fans will want to find this figure, and the easiest way to find him is to feel for his hairpiece, and because his hairpiece has that little ponytail right there. So this is really good for pirate fans, but not really for my tastes. And here is the mechanic or the tattoo artist. I know it was originally called the tattoo artist, but now he's just a mechanic. And I was very mixed about this guy at first, but now I really like this figure. And I wish they would have had a tattoo right there, but they do have it on his other arm. And let me see if I can focus in right there. Okay, so yeah, that's really just an awesome tattoo. It has some flames, and it's always usable to get tattoos because we don't have much tattoos in the Lego world. And I really do like his pants because he has those chains and everything, but it's kind of common to get pants with chain. I know it came with the Series 4 Rock Dude, a very similar one, but not this particular one. And his torso is usable because it's kind of that jacket that's like all the bikers use. But I don't really like his face because it's kind of weird. His glasses are like a weird print that makes it look too realistic for me. And his head piece is just the bland little I forgot what it's called. I totally forgot what it's called. I forgot. And he comes with this wrench. So I have to just give this a okay because I really do like his torso and his arms and his leg pieces, but I don't like the rest of the figure. And here's the Roman general or emperor, and he's a pretty cool figure. I know he's part of the war series in this actual theme of minifigures. And Mr. Hero Fan, a YouTube user, told me that this is the general or the emperor for Rome. So I will give a little link to his channel right here. Hopefully somewhere around here on my hand or something. But he does have some really nice leg printing right there for his sandals. And you can kind of see it carries to the side. I don't know if the stud right there is blocking it. All the way on the bottom right here. And he does come with this nice sword right there. And a pretty cool torso. And his headpiece is his helmet piece is made of two pieces, which is this top part, which has a peg in the middle, and so that's pretty cool. And this helmet piece right here, which is pretty cool all in itself. I'm not sure if this is the same as the Series 6. I forget who it was. Was it the Roman soldier? Or I don't think it's the same. It can't be the same. And so you can kind of see that right there. It's not chrome silver or anything like that, so I'm kind of mad about that. And his headpiece is very similar to the one of the Gladiator from Series 5. And he doesn't have any back printing, but he does come with a cape, which is pretty nice. And here is the Nerd Girl, and she's one of my favorite figures from the series, and I'll tell you why right now. And basically, she has this nice book which says oranges and peaches, and I love getting these book pieces because they always look good on the shelf. And of course, you could open up the book and put, I guess, a tile piece or whatever you want in there. And she also comes with a cup, and it says "shh" on there. So I don't really know why she has that on there, but I guess it's pretty cool. And then she has some really, really nice hair, which is Ginny's hairpiece from Harry Potter in brown. Very usable, and I always loved that hairpiece ever since it came out. Kind of seeing that right there. And there's the back, very rigid. And then her face has glasses, and it's always nice to get a female with glasses in the minifigure world. And she does have a nice skirt as a leg piece, which continues to the side, which is just awesome. Always nice to get some side printing. And she does come with, basically a nice torso too. And so that's really why she's one of my favorite figures. I just love the figure overall. So I will have to give her above a great, maybe an awesome. And here's the paintballer. He's just a really cool figure. A lot of people are anticipating him because of his gun piece, which is really cool. And there you go. And he does come with this little eyepiece or glasses piece, which you can take off of the helmet on the side right there. See if I can pump it off right there. And his helmet's really cool. I just wish they wouldn't have had this little green paint splash right there, because it's nice to get this particular helmet in black. But it does have that, which kind of sucks. And he has a nice little suit, which like I said, I wish it didn't have any green paint on it, but it makes sense since he is a paintball player. And his face is cool because it has that grin right there. Always nice to have that. And yeah, I just probably give it a good. And the back does have that nice orange blotch right there. And here's my other favorite minifigure of the series, and it is the Trend Setter or something like that. And I love her new hairpiece, which is just amazing, especially in blonde. And it actually feels pretty good, which sounds a little bit weird, but it's just an awesome hairpiece, very usable. I always like getting new female hairpieces, and there is that. Just a magnificent hairpiece. And her face is pretty cool, I guess. It's cool to have that little mole right there. And she does have some nice sunglasses. I don't think we've ever gotten a sunglass girl before, except I think Agents. No, well, not Agents, but I think Alpha Team. No, I don't think an Alpha Team. And she does have some really nice torso right there, which is very usable. And nice pants right there, which has some chains. And she also comes with this little iPhone ripoff right there, which has some cool printing on there, very similar to the Friends pieces, which are the iPod ripoffs. And then she has, again, another awesome new piece, which is this Chihuahua, which I think comes in Friends. Not sure, I need to check up on that again. But yeah, I'm not sure. But this is just an awesome Chihuahua in that caramel color right there. So yeah, she's just one of my favorite minifigures from this, or she is my favorite minifigure from the series. And here is the painter, and he's just a really cool figure. I love his hat. It's very usable for like a pizza guy or a remake of Pepper from Lego Island or Lego Island Extreme Stunts. And he does have a pretty cool torso, but I really don't like the paint swatches on it, but I digress. And he does come with this nice little roller right there for the paint, which comes with teal little cylinder right there. And he comes with a bucket, which I always love getting buckets, in gray, which I don't think we've ever gotten a gray bucket piece before. So you can kind of see that right there. And of course that's made of two pieces, which is the handle and the bucket. And I just really like this figure overall. There's really not much to say about it except awesome little painter right there, awesome bucket, awesome hat piece. And his face has a little splotch right there, but I wish it wouldn't have had that splotch because that would be a really usable face, kind of like that grin right there. So I do rate this figure a great, but not a perfect or anything like that. And here's the Bumblebee girl. She's just a really cool figure. I really can't find a use for her, but just overall, she's just a really cool figure. I know this headpiece can be used for the Bee Mario from Super Mario Galaxy, Great game, by the way. And Super Mario Galaxy 2 too. Or is Super Mario Galaxy, is the B one only in 2? Or no, I think it's in both. And she does come with this little pot right here, which has a printing for a bumblebee and the honey right there. Great, I love getting this pot piece too, another great piece. And fun fact, you could actually take the bucket piece, the handle off of it, and put it onto the pot piece and make like a handle for the pot. So you can kind of see that right there. Fits pretty well. And her face is usable because she has those little cheek marks right there. So I guess you can make her maybe like a pageant girl or something like that. And she does come with a pretty cool torso and leg printing, which is just that stripe right there, but not really usable outside of the use right here. And some really cool wings, which I love getting these wings. I know they came in the fairy from Series 8. And that's really just cool. And so that's it for the B-Girl. I'll give her probably a great. And here's the grandpa, and he's just a really cool figure. And he does come with this little newspaper right here. Which, let me see if I get off. Okay, so there's the newspaper. It says Old Times. It's in kind of a light gray right there. And you can focus on there right there. There's no words on this, unlike that Batman piece, which they were having a whole debate on what the Batman newspaper said from 2012. And sorry about that. He does come with this new headpiece, which is basically represents his kind of like it's like a bold cap, if you ask me. A bald cap. Sorry, I can't pronounce bold. And he does come with a nice face, which is kind of just an old face, and a nice torso, which is his trousers. He also comes with this nice cup, but it does not have any printing. So now on to the next figure. And I do rate this guy great, by the way. Oh, and sorry, he comes with some back printing too, which is nice. And here is Tomahawk Warrior, and he's just a really cool figure. I like his Tomahawk piece, I think it's called, or hatchet or something like that. And William Shore said that it would go good with the Rohan soldiers, so who knows. And you can see that channel right there on my hand, and gone. And then he does have some nice printing right there, and some nice arm printing, which has a tattoo, which, like I said in the opening, was very usable. And this one's not too usable, but still pretty cool. But I'm pretty sure LEGO made that intentionally, because this could go with the tattoo mechanic guy for his other arm, so he could have tattoos on both arms. And he does have a pretty cool leg, and his face is not really usable, but I do like his mohawk right there. So I do rate this guy great, just because I love that arm printing right there. And the hatchet is really cool, because this is the cheapest way to get it. It does come in the Lone Ranger sets, but all of them are really expensive. And his mohawk is just a cool piece. Here is a Skydiver. I could tell you that this is probably one of the most common figures. This and I think it's this, the paintballer, and the Roman soldier, and the mechanic, and the Minuteman guy right there. And he is just a really cool figure. But he's probably one of my least favorite from the series, because he doesn't really have much going for him except this awesome backpack piece. And the rest of him is just really blasé, and his face is not really too usable. Maybe you can make him as like a battlefield guy, but still wouldn't make sense. Maybe another paintball player, that would actually make some sense. And his helmet is in lime green, which we haven't had that in lime green, but it's still okay, so this is just an okay figure. And the last figure is the hardest figure to find for me, at least. And it is the captain, and he does come with this nice seagull right here. There's a little 360 right here, and I'm pretty sure this is a new piece. It might come in another set, I'm trying to think. Does it come in a friend set? No, I don't think it comes in a friend set, but I know this is introduced in this series. And it's a rubbery piece, which is kind of weird. But it's just really just a well-molded figure with some nice printing all around and some nice coloring. But onto the actual sea captain. He also does come with another new mold, which is his hat piece, and this hat piece is going to come in series, well, not really series, but a city set in all white, which is pretty cool that they have this variation right here. And he does come with a nice torso and some nice side arm printing, which is always nice to get side arm printing. Binoculars, but no leg printing, and his face is kind of stern. And so I do rate this guy great, just because of that awesome seagull piece, his nice hat, his nice torso, and his nice face. And so that's it for the series, and now on to final verdict. Overall, I think this is actually really, probably one of my favorite series, and Series 9 and 10 are actually really good, but I didn't really like Series 8. Series 7 was pretty good. Series 6 was okay. Well, Series 6 was good too. Series 5 was really kind of disappointing. And Series 4 was good. Series 3 was like probably the worst. Series 2 was pretty cool. And Series 1 was, of course, the classic one. And so I do rate this series as a whole a 9.5 out of 10 because there's just some really cool stuff. I especially like the Trendsetter. That's one of my favorites. Mr. Gold, if you do find him, he is, not only is he worth a lot of money, but he is a really cool figure. I really like, I know the Bumblebee girl, she's really cool. But my favorites are the Trendsetter, the Nerd Girl, or the Librarian Girl, the Old Guy, who else? I liked the Roman Emperor, I'm pretty sure. The paintball player is cool. And just all the other minifigures, none of them are really bad in this series, even though I thought the mechanic was going to be bad, but he's actually really cool. And so yeah, I highly recommend you trying to find packs of this, and good luck finding Mr. Gold, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.